All right, we're taking a road trip. Come go with me. We're going to Bob Wells Nursery. It's in Mineola, Texas, just north of Mineola, Texas. It's a place I have gone many times. It's a place I have bought from, a nursery I have bought from for 30, probably 40 years or thereabouts. And they've moved a little further. They're about 10, 15 miles further than they used to be for me. Still worth the trip. I'm going to do an interview with Ed Donnelly. He runs the place. Extremely knowledgeable on all things, especially in the South, but we'll give you some advice also of things if you're in the North also. When to plant, how to irrigate, things like that is what I'm going to ask you. So get ready for a packed informational video with someone that knows their stuff. So let's go. Let's get there. Here we are at Sorelle Farms. This is the blackberries that we planted during the workshop. I'll have to look back and see when that was, a year or two ago. And man, they're doing well. Beautiful canes, thick canes, well pruned. The trellis we put up at the same time, still holding up. Obviously, that trellis is just a great design. But anyway, just really look nice. These this nice little blackberry patch that they have, you know, for decoration, for display for what the blackberries can do. And these are, if I remember right, all Primark Freedom. Really pretty. Well, I'm here again at Sorelle Farms with Ed Donnelly. He's the guy. What do you do with blackberries in containers? Or, you know, you can expand to other things, fruit trees, things like that. But what do you do to protect them in the winter so that the won't have any root kill, things like that, the plant won't get damaged? What do you think, Ed?
Sure. Well, Alan, I want to preface what I'm saying here with the fact that we are in Northeast Texas.
Yeah.
We're in Zone 8. Average low temperature around here is going to get down to about 15 degrees during the wintertime. If they're in other parts of the country, this may not apply. So I just want to put that caution out there. As a general rule of thumb, once we start approaching temperatures below 15 degrees, around 10 degrees, if we have a berry plant, whether it's blackberry, blueberry, elderberry, raspberry, if it's in a 1 gallon container, we put that plant in a greenhouse when we start approaching 10 degrees. Our 3 gallon plants, our 3 gallon blackberries, 3 gallon blueberries, anything else in a 3 gallon, if it's not going to be below 10 degrees, we leave them outside. So the plants are fairly resilient even at very cold temperatures. This past week, we were down around 10 degrees. We were down below freezing for 60, 75 hours or so, and the plants responded just fine. So really, unless we're going to be getting down below that, into that 0 to 5 degree mark, do I start worrying about the plants in the larger containers.
Excellent. Yeah. And that includes not just blackberries, but what about fruit trees, things like that? I know citrus, you're going to be inside with that, but
citrus. So there are some varieties that we automatically move inside when we get down below 20 degrees. Obviously, the citrus stays inside. The olive trees come inside during the cold freezes. Figs, pomegranates, and the Fuyu persimmons will generally be protected once we start getting down around 15 degrees, because they are a little, pardon me, a little more cold sensitive than other persimmon trees. All of our standard fruit trees, apples, peaches, plums, nectarines, you name it, they generally stay outside through the entire winter in a 5 gallon container.
5 gallon, okay. You mentioned figs. Figs down here, if there's a certain point where they won't kill the plant, but certainly going to have some die off of the branches, the canes or whatever sticking up. Mm-hmm. What has been your experience for a mature plant? Where, and I know it depends on variety, but a mature plant, when you have to start thinking about during the winter, thinking about, well, I'm going to have to trim this way back because of the temperature it got down to.
Sure. So what we prescribe and what we tell our customers to do is, first of all, we generally do recommend that the fig is one of the few plants that we recommend in this area for planting in the spring. Usually we would recommend planting in the fall so you get that additional root development. Plant in the spring, give the fig tree the entire summer to mature. Then you can pretty much expect for the first 2 to 3 winters that the fig tree is going to die all the way back to the ground. Every winter
that's been my experience.
Yeah. Every winter we get calls, people are in a panic that it dies back to the ground, new shoots will come up and replace it, and that's going to happen probably the first 2 to 3 winters in this climate here. After that, The old canes do need to be pruned back to the ground. You need to get those dead canes off, and then usually after that, the tree's going to start not having any loss from the cold. We have an LSU purple fig out front that actually survived the winter of 21 several years ago, and after about 2 years later, it stayed above ground, no dieback at all. We've been down to 8 to 10 degrees each of the last few winters, and it has not died back at all. So it just takes a little bit of time to get over the hump. You get to an inflection point with the plants where the root system is developed and mature enough to where the cold temperature is not going to affect it. Younger plants, probably with a younger fig, I would take a couple feet of pine bark mulch, a hardwood mulch, and pile it up around the plant if you are very concerned about the cold weather. But other than that, just expect it to die back and come back. Does
it also depend on the circumference of the canes or the branches? I don't know. What do you call a fig?
The caliper?
What do you call that? A branch or a cane or
a cane? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, generally.
Does it have to do with? I mean, does it depend on the circumference of like a mature tree? I've seen that might die back at the skinny part at the top, but then as they go down, you'll find green as I'm pruning.
Yeah, and the figs are the same way. They'll generally die back from the top down. To be quite honest with you, I'm not sure if that's a matter of the caliper of the trunk or canes, or if that's the maturity of the root system.
Okay.
I imagine it is probably more related to the thickness of the trunk itself, but I can't say 100%.
Okay.
Pruning is an art.
It's an art
and a science.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is, and there are certain trees that we're very finicky about in terms of, especially our peaches and our plums, on how they get pruned.
Yeah.
I tell most of my other customers, look, if you'll just take some of the minor precautions on your apples and your pear trees to take off the dead branches, take off anything that's damaged, take off anything that's growing back towards the main trunk, then you're probably doing 75% of what needs to be done. And if you don't get the other 25% quite right, it's not going to make or break the tree.
Right. Yeah. Any other advice for people that are, most of my viewers are going to be growing fruits and vegetables and things like that, edibles, and not ornamentals. I'm sure most everybody has ornamentals, but any other advice for fruit trees or again citrus? It depends on where you are. If you're watching this up in Michigan, it's not the same as watching it in East Texas.
Correct. Correct. And what we generally instruct our customers, especially in the South where it gets really hot, is you've got to think about the time of year when you're planting. Make sure you have a plan for watering. Most people make the mistake of watering the tree a little bit every single day, when what you really want to do is water the tree today, water it deeply, thoroughly, soak it really good, get the water down where the big roots are, and then let it sit for 5 to 7 days, and then repeat that process. The other is mulch can be a very good friend, especially in hot parts of the country. When you layer that hardwood mulch or cedar mulch or pine bark mulch around your tree, you're shading the soil and keeping the temperature down on the roots. You're also creating an insulative barrier that's going to help hold that moisture in and not evaporate so fast. So some of those little things that you can do like that can make a huge difference on how well your tree is going to do the first couple of seasons.
I wonder in containers, now here you water overhead.
I'd say about 50-50. We do try in most cases to water the fruit trees under canopy when possible.
I just wonder if watering deeply once a week would be okay for containers also.
No.
Because they're going to need, now a wicking type container is going to have a reservoir, small reservoir, and it doesn't last very long, I found, in East Texas in the summertime, but going to have a reservoir that would that's going to wick up and hold for a few days. But I water my blackberries at least 3 times a week or something like that, and I'll do it till they're full, till the water comes out the weep hole.
Right.
But I found sometimes they're dry. I mean, like in 2 days they can get dry in August
easily.
But it's not the same for up north and probably in the East Coast, West Coast. But all right, any other tips? My people look to this for tips.
Well, my number one tip is have a plan for watering those trees
before you plant. That's what I tell them.
Have a plan for watering those plants before you put them in the ground.
I hear you. And anywhere you are.
Yes.
And not just down here in the South, but anywhere you are.
Absolutely.
All right. Great tips from a great guy.
Well, I appreciate that. You're welcome to call or come by anytime.
Absolutely.
And we can talk to him in person.
The link to his establishment will be below, and just great guys to talk with, and they're extremely knowledgeable. Will answer your questions, and you still get that discount.
That's correct.
All right. Get that 10% discount by mentioning my name. All right. So here they are on the deck. Watered them well. Just waiting for the earth boxes to be ready for them. I'm already getting some nice shoots coming off that one. This one is getting some growth from the root system, looks like. So this is the kind of plant you could expect to get from Bob Wells, from Sorelle Farms. Ed does a wonderful job of raising these, keeping them safe from cold and such. And again, we have got quite a few blooms. So I should get some blackberries if I protect them. I should get some blackberries this year off these 1 gallon pots. And I say if I protect them, and I mean basically from the birds. When you got a few blackberry plants and just a few blackberries, the birds can get you. If you got a bunch of blackberry plants, then, you know, you kind of let the birds have their share. But anyway, just want to show you, we are ready here, ready to put them in the earth boxes, ready to put them in containers. That's the way I grow blackberries and have been for about 5 years now, and have not had any reason to quit. Just have done a great job. So thought you'd want to see this. I knew you'd want to see the interview with Ed. Just extremely knowledgeable, and got some great plants, trees, ornamentals, everything, and you still get that 10% discount if you say TP2. If you're ordering online, I think they got to place your discount code. The discount code would be TP2, and they'll understand what you get. So anyway, good plants, good people, and I just wanted to show you my trip. And we're gonna get these things in the ground pretty quick. 80 degrees today. That doesn't mean we're not going to get any more cold weather, because we probably are. But it's 80 degrees today, and it's not even the middle of February yet. I like it. I hope it doesn't bode well for summer, being hot, but we'll see. All right, we're gone.